Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Telling Tales. Here we tell atmospheric stories together through the medium of tabletop role-playing games. It's Monday night, which means that we're playing Vaesen, Mythic Britain and Ireland. This is the fourth session. Probably might be the end of this mystery, this current mystery. We'll see. We're having a lot of fun with it, so looking forward to seeing where it goes. Below the stream, we have links to our Twitch and our YouTube, depending on which you're watching us on, our social media, our Discord, which you should join and come and chat with us and all the other lovely people who have joined that, and also our Patreon, which if you enjoy what we're doing on the channel, you can support us through that. Other things we do on the channel at the moment, we have Simba Room on a Wednesday and a different one-shot adventure on a weekend day every month. I don't think the December one has been set in stone yet, but I believe it's a continuation of a previous story, and it's going to be a good one, Spooky Christmas. So let's get into it. Recaps for last week. Let's bring on Sam, please, who plays Magnus Huxley. Hey, Sam.
Hello.
Could you run us through the beginning of the session, which was a continuation of the end of the previous session?
Yeah, sort of the end of the previous session as well in my thing. Got it. I can do that. So we're investigating the tower, which we had been sent up here to kind of find out what was going on in the first place, because people have been disappearing, perhaps being murdered there. We found kind of the bloody stains on the floor as expected, but we also found a few other interesting things in this tower. So I found a few drops of blood upstairs, which have remained more or less unexplained. I think there was a little bit drops of blood all the way up the stairs to the floor above, and then it kind of just stopped mysteriously. So we didn't know what happened with that. What else? We also found a little bit. Was there any more blood downstairs, or was it just footprints downstairs? I'm trying to remember now. I know we investigated the cleaning and what happened with the cleaning and stuff like that, didn't we? But didn't really get anything much more out of that other than something had clearly tried to clear the place up after this had happened. And we also found some footprints which seemed a bit too small to be kind of certainly human adult footprints, like something was wearing like pointy shoes or something like that. And there was also like a point next to it, like as if a cane was in the ground or something like that. So perhaps something there, whether that was a small person with pointy shoes wearing a cane or something else, who knows? Yeah, and the only other thing was I asked one of the farmers just before the end of the previous session if there was anything they could help us with, and they said there was kind of a medicine woman, a kind of mystic in town who we could go and visit, who might know more as well. So that was where we decided to head off next, because we kind of ran out of things to investigate in that tower.
Yeah, so let's bring on Justin, who plays Gail Mosling Forsmark.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Justin. Please take us through your visit to Harriet Walsh.
Yeah, Harriet was a nice old lady, but not as we expected, because they at least appeared to be a nice young lady, dressed in a kind of cottagecore like style, and out, doing witchy things like picking mushrooms and herbs and things like that. They provided me with very good ointment for my children's head lice. And then we asked them a little bit about what's been going on. Due to the discomfort of the police constables who were with us, we asked them to maybe just step outside, take some air, and they did. And at that point, we discussed more frankly what we were actually here to investigate. And we got some advice to do some reading of some books that Harriet provided. And then she went out. And we decided that we'd peruse these books, investigate the town some more, and decide what to do back at the pub.
Great. So let's bring on Inga, who plays Constance Kirk, who also waited outside during the time at Harriet Walsh's house, as Constance is quite the devout Christian. So on the way back to the pub, the Inspector Bertram Bonts had mentioned to you that some books had been sent by Sir Rupert. So do you want to take us through?
Yeah, so we went along to the station to go pick those up pick up the books, and pretty much said goodbye to Bunce and said we'd see him in the morning, because we were definitely not going to do anything else for the rest of the day other than reading. I think that was pretty much it at the police station, other than, he confirmed the official story is that we're like, special branch for investigating this particular thing. But other than that, we just kind of picked up the books, said goodbye to Bunce, and went on our way again.
Yeah. So Steve, who plays Henry Bonneville. Hi, Steve.
Hi there.
So then you returned to the pub.
Yes. So yes, we entered the pub. There was a weird shift in atmosphere that we kind of picked up on, but weren't able to pin down. There's the Bill Trent, the barkeeper, he seemed to be anxious before we walked in, and then he seemed to be less anxious. But despite our various attempts at probing him for information, we couldn't quite figure out why that was the case. What did we end up doing? Basically, we started reading through the various books that we'd got. Henry, that was Henry and Mostly Forsmark, I believe, were reading, whereas B and Hux went off on a bit of a walk to discuss various things, including staying overnight at the tower, which seemed to be a plan that was growing despite Henry's reticence. The only other thing of note, really, we didn't really find anything in the books. Like it felt like we were close to, at least Henry felt like he was close to some sort of realization, but wasn't able to determine on first reading what was going on at the tower, at least. Some side reading in terms of what might or might not be following him personally, but that's a different matter. And then Adam. The only other thing of note was Adam was playing with an old top, like 25-year-old spinning top, which is probably just fine. It's probably just a toy, probably of no significance whatsoever.
Yep. So let's bring on John, who plays B. Hale. Hi, John.
Hi, Jonny.
So you return to the tower.
Yes. We decided to camp out for the night. We didn't tell the owner, Mr. Wilton, partly because we didn't want to, and partly because he seemed quite busy with one of his little parties that he has. We decided to set a watch. 2 people awake at any one time. Led to a bit of a nice conversation between B and Henry about the possibility of Henry being a werewolf, which B wasn't convinced about, so it's probably fine. And then in the middle of the night, I heard a sound like a grouse or like a pheasant, but not. Maybe in some distress, and B decided to go and investigate with her rifle, and left Henry behind, and saw a figure that was human but too small to be an adult human, and a flash of red and a body, and then the figure turned around and then it disappeared. And now B is standing in the dark in a rich person's garden with a gun and a corpse.
And on that note, what is B going to do?
B is going to turn around and return to the tower quietly, because she doesn't want to get nicked for this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hear no noise. So that the house is quiet now, but you also hear no sound coming from the body that is on the floor. So there's no sort of stirring or anything from them currently. They are still and quiet.
I'm thinking I should still maybe... Actually, should probably go over and definitely make sure they're not... gripping to life, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to
Um,
approach the person.
Finish them off.
No.
So
Okay.
could Henry see you where you were? I'm trying to remember what, because I know I'm asleep.
So I think Henry was by the exit, by a door or whatever in the tower, ready to run back and wake
I see. So you're just watching
the
me.
others. Yes. So I might be able to see sort of B to some extent. Clearly not the scene.
If it's close enough that I could like stand and wave towards Henry.
Hmm.
Let me share this image for you again.
Okay.
When it's
So
go.
basically, that door at the rear there is where you would have come out of,
Mm-hmm.
and you have then gone. If you've come out of the door, you've gone left and left again, and you're in that space heading towards the manor. So for Henry to be able to see where you are, actually, he could see you out of that window down the side if that was what you'd kind of agreed on. Henry didn't see the figure or any of that going on. You can just kind of see a point of light coming from B's lantern.
Yeah, I'm going to, in that case, like flash my lantern at the tower, and then I'm going to approach the body
Okay.
and see if they're still alive.
I'm going to stop screen sharing that now. I presume you're going. Are you going? Are you trying to be stealthy? This isn't a trick question. The chances of anybody hearing you if you're not being stealthy are very small. I'm wondering if you want to sneak up to this body in case of them being awake or whatever.
I will be sneaking,
Okay.
partly because I don't want to be caught by someone happenstance wandering past.
Yeah, fine. I'm not going to ask you to roll. I was just interested as to how you were approaching. So you get within a few feet. Are you shining your light so that you can see?
I think once I
well
get close, yeah.
Okay. There is a very large wound in their chest. Like a stabbing wound, but it looks like it's not like a sword. It's a larger blade than something like that. Have you got has B got any sort of military history interest?
No. Well, I don't think so. She
Okay.
does have medicine. She's like a wilds medicine person.
No, it was
I feel
more
like
if
you've
you
done a lot of
if you would be
butchery,
in,
right?
It was more to see if you'd be in any way aware of what type of weapon might have done this, but I would say
Right.
not.
What about peasant uprisings? What about farm type weaponry that might have been used or something of that nature? That's professionalized military.
It's not a 3-pronged wound, so the chances of it being from a
Is it a shovel?
Yeah, if it's
Okay.
not a butchering tool or a farm tool, he probably wouldn't really recognize it.
It's a real. There is a lot of blood, sort of strewn around here, which all seems to have kind of emanated from this large chest wound.
I will be watching through the window anxiously, I guess. I'm just seeing this sort of silhouetted scene.
Are they definitely dead, judging from the amount of blood?
You're pretty certain. If you shine a light on them, they are sort of very pale. And yeah, there's you can see bits of inside through this wound, and there's blood everywhere. So you're pretty certain that they're gone.
Okay, then I'm going to retreat back to the tower. Henry.
Yes?
There's been an attack. There's a body over there in the garden. wake everyone up. I think it's gone. But if we're fast, we might be able to track it.
Okay, right. And I will go over to the others and wake them nervously, and relay the details.
A
Well,
murder.
Let's go then. Lead the way.
This way. I will also describe the few things I saw, and I will lead us back over to the body.
Steve,
Hmm.
can you please make me, let's say, a learning logic roll, please?
Okay, that will be 7 dice, 5 and 2. So this is where obviously I roll nothing. So it's
All
yes,
ones
I
inexplicably.
roll nothing.
Okay.
Highest was a 5. Must be the shark.
Would you like to use your advantage? And I'll remind everybody, like viewers as well, of advantages. So they are mystery specific, and you get them at the beginning. And if you don't use them in a mystery, you lose them. So I did tell the players beforehand that if anything came up this game where they might want to have an extra couple of dice rolled, then this could be.
I'd love to, but my advantage was a map. So.
Maybe the map had some interesting details on it that
Yeah,
remind you of
like
something.
little sort of diagrams of
Corpses.
fanciful creatures.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, everybody else is faced with the same scene as you arrive that B had previously seen, and I think described to you probably on your way there.
What was it, B? Did you get a good look at it?
Something small, like look human, but short.
I think I'll be looking around for like footprints and the same markings that we saw. See whether they exist here as well. The pointy shoe footprints and the depressions.
Cool. If anybody wants to look for that or anything else, if you make an investigation roll and let me know what you're looking for and what successes you get.
Can I get a is there a chance of doing the learning roll that Steve had a go at? Or is that a Steve specific thing?
You were reading the books as well, weren't you, actually? So yes, yeah, give me that.
I will do it, and I will use my extra 2 dice advantage
Cool.
for the other books that I had. So many
I'm gonna require more successes from you than I would have from Steve.
That's
because
fine.
Steve felt like he was on the precipice of finding out some information.
But it's 2 dice from the
advantage.
Whereas you got distracted by travel books, if you remember correctly.
Hey.
Steve only got this. Henry only got distracted by werewolf books, which is much more prescient.
Constance will just take a moment to have a little prayer over the body to try and, not in any kind of proper ritual kind of way, but in her own little private way, help sort of hope he's at rest. I'm assuming it's a he.
It is, yes, it is a man. Yeah.
I got 2 successes, both from the advantages that I took. That's why I assigned it. I pulled all dice differently, and they both came from that.
Okay.
I got, for the investigation of footprints and so on, I got 3 successes.
And for the same roll as Steve did, I only got 1.
Okay. Sam, what's Hooks doing?
Yeah, I was thinking of looking at the blood and seeing if it was obviously one direction, because presumably if something just did this, you'd think it would have messily trailed blood in the direction that it was moving. So that was what I was going to look for. And investigation, newly leveled up investigation, because we had some points to spend. I got 1 success.
Okay. Right. Henry, you see kind of one footprint either side of the body. Again, a relatively deep imprint with quite a long spiked sort of front on the footprint. You can see that it's kind of what's the word I'm trying to think of? Sort of like that. And you would guess that it was footwear rather than the shape of a foot, if that makes sense. And you also note again a small, relatively small sort of circular imprint to the right-hand side of the right footprint. Actually, while everybody's here, does anybody think that their character would have had an interest in any kind of weapon history, military history, anything like that?
My character's got a general learning stuff, possibly covered a few different topics, not specifically military, but
I think in Constance's days before the church, which she was with a fairly well-off kind of crowd, so it might be kind of more through that, but obviously not any direct personal experience, but probably would have known
Okay.
or whatever.
If no, it's fine. It's just, it doesn't matter. Hooks sees rather disconcertingly no sort of blood movement or trail away from this area. Similarly, Henry and B, apart from those footprints, don't see any more leaving this space. Although you do see some leading to this space from the direction of the tower.
Okay.
But more from not more like directly to the tower from here, which is kind of partway along the tower and not towards where the door is.
Not our footprints we've just brought then.
No, in the style of the
okay.
Sort of spiked, yeah.
So only footprints going one way, no evidence of them leaving.
And I would say that B, like upon seeing this, it's like you didn't see them run off; they just weren't there. And probably in your mind, you assumed they'd run off and got out of your light, and you lost track of them.
Yeah.
But now
They
you're not
just
so sure.
disappeared.
Well, that would add up with the weird blood trails in the tower, the way that they stopped and started in random locations.
That would.
Justin?
Can I do an observation roll to try and find another set of footprints near the wall, like the kind that looks similar to the ones that we found inside on the mud? Like, is there anything kind of on the edge of the wall that looks like a muddy spot? Or is that not really?
Yeah, so that's the same style of footprints as these.
Okay.
Is that what you
I
just
guess
want to go look like?
I guess I'm trying to. I guess one of the things I want to know is where we found the muddy spot inside the building. Is that close in proximity along the wall to where these footprints appear from?
Got you. Okay.
That's one of the
yeah,
things.
sure. Yeah. So make me. We'll just use your other investigation roll actually, because you rolled an investigation roll anyway, didn't you? I think. Did you?
I think I learned a learning roll last time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Make an investigation roll for me then.
Then I do that. I'll do that. That's what I'll do. And I get 1 success.
Great. So these footprints that you kind of follow backwards because they're coming from that way, and not sort of not notably close to where the inside footprint was. However, they terminate with a pair of footprints which go even deeper into the ground, and it's where there is a gap, sort of an opening at the upper floor. So as if it's jumped down.
Have we been to that upper floor?
You have, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this bit that where these footprints are is the equivalent to where you kind of opened the door and there was no roof, and kind of bits of missing floor, like the final section of that upstairs, which was, yeah, in a bad state of disrepair.
I think Constance kind of hearing how surprised everybody else seems by confused by this. Like, I don't know why you're also so surprised by this. The devil does not. These devils don't play by the normal rules of humankind. If you weren't sure enough then, before now, hopefully this is clear enough now that these others are at work, and clearly quite evil. Look at what they've done to this poor man.
Can I check the blood again and see whether there's any sign of the like the cleaning, the cleaning up that was present in the other ones, the other blood pools?
Yeah, so I think Henry's probably, and B probably will have seen a decent amount of wounds. You would expect there to be more blood around the sort of wound in the chest cavity. So it is as if some has been taken or cleaned, but probably taken. Justin, as kind of all this is going on and these discussions are taking place, because I assume that people will be kind of shouting out bits and bats about what they've seen. You recall from your reading the tale of Lord William de Soulis, and his supposed familiar, Robin Redcap. There was a local legend, which is that Robin Redcap and his master were responsible for all manner of depravity and devil worshipping. And the locals had to stage a rebellion against Lord William de Soulis to stop his reign of terror.
What is it that strikes me? Why does this? Is there anything about this situation that strikes me specifically?
There is a description of how the locals described Robin Redcap, which is a small humanoid figure who often carried with him a pike, and had pointed shoes, which he would even use the shoes to harm people. They were metal pointed shoes, and it was believed that that part of the reason that he was so vicious and violent was that if his hat ever dried of blood, he would die.
Cool. I remembered. I didn't think it'd be important. It hardly mentions it hardly even bared any relevance to road networks or infrastructure or railways, so I didn't really pay much attention. But the other day while reading, there was a bit that I glanced over. I wonder if I have it, and I pull out the book from my book bag and go, "Oh, yes, this," and then I point to the story and go, "I think this maybe bears a striking resemblance to what you said." B.
Yes.
This seems to match your description, Ms. B.
Yeah. I'll take the book. Are there any pictures, or is it all descriptions?
There is a drawing, yes, of Robin Redcap. 1 second. Here we are, some lovely art from the Vaesen book.
Oh.
That's not as friendly as I thought it was going to look.
Yeah, the name sounds friendlier, doesn't it?
This one has a bag of skulls.
You didn't get a perfect look, but you could certainly marry the two. What you saw in this image, there are enough similarities that you can pick to say that there's a good chance.
I mean, it was dark, but it seems possible. The shoes certainly seem to match.
You see, devil worship.
Does this story tell us anything more about what it could do, what it was, how to fight the thing?
It seems to like its cap a lot. Seems to be very attached to it. Maybe that's why all that blood was mopping it up with that cap.
Oh,
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 Jonny.
don't peek behind the curtain.
don't look.
What was this other name you mentioned? Dasulis. We haven't come across that anywhere. We've only heard about the Wilton and the Radcliffes.
So he is from, I think it was Dumbarton actually. So it's not like he was here. He's from somewhere else. It's just that's where Dumbarton Castle. That's just where the folklore comes from.
But it may just have been a breed of one of these others. One could be living here just like it was living there.
I suppose.
Anyway, more to the point. What are we going to do? There's a body here. We're trespassing.
The creature's our first worry, I think.
I mean, they know. The innkeeper knows that we're here. I mean, we won't be able to evade the fact that people know we're here.
We told Bonds we were staying the night.
I think I should probably go and knock on the door and tell the young lord. He's a lord.
Surely, get Bonds first.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, you can go and get Bonds. I just think that
I don't think he's going to react terribly well based on what we've seen so far, and the body needs to be treated properly and carefully.
I vote we get the creature first to stop more bodies showing up. Then we can deal with Bonds, and then we can go talk to this lord if we need to.
We can just pretend that we didn't even see the body. We can. I mean, I suppose we've just tracked footprints all over the place, but we could just say we'd never even noticed the body was there.
Look, if you want to go after this Hux, these things are not normal. You can't just go after them with a gun, like be here. Was there anything in the story about how it was that they defeated or killed this other creature before? They're very particular.
Jonny?
Actually, all that it says is that they dealt with it by getting rid of Lord Dasulis.
I see.
By boiling him alive.
Nothing really very specific.
Well, if it's a result of devil worship, presumably we need to at the very least stop the devil worship. Maybe something is calling it here. If it's in servitude to another, who is that other?
I was wondering about that.
Doesn't seem like the sort of thing that's just attached to this place for no reason, does it?
It would be strange to have just turned up recently.
Doesn't sound like people have been going missing for years or anything, does it?
That's true.
No. There
Who's
is
new.
Presumably somebody who's unhappy about the goings on at Radcliffe rather than Wilton, I would assume this time around.
It wouldn't much make sense for him to sabotage his own building project.
Yeah, but who in this town's going to be not minding if some local folks get killed? At best, heartless.
With the devil worshipping, you can't assume that people know really what they're getting into. There's all sorts of tricks that get played up on people. You can't. They might have thought they were trying to do something good, but terribly, terribly misguided. Everybody could potentially be a suspect.
Mosling. Another question. Did that tale tell of any mischievous activities beforehand, rather than just straight out murderous? Because the events here started with.
Yeah, no, I maybe mischief turns to murder with these red cap fellows. But maybe they start. Often you find with the miscreants in town that they start off by picking pockets, and then before you know it, another ripper.
There's no specific mention of mischief. It's all pretty dark in this story.
Did Mosling just prophesize Jack the Ripper?
Again, it's his telling tales, historical accuracy. That's
I didn't say Jack the Ripper. I said another Ripper. Like there are other Rippers. Like they just it's.
David's
It's just
just
a general term. It's just a
David
general
Ripper.
term. It's
Everyone
not tied
knows
to any
Dave the
one
Ripper.
specific person.
I'm gonna Google this. This is gonna be some serious googling.
So, who do we know who begrudged this place who might be involved? If it is a person we got to track down.
Well, none of the workmen.
No one up here.
that witch. We know that she's involved with these sorts of creatures.
She wouldn't have given us the book if it were her.
She never seemed much begrudged to this place either. Hey, that guy in the pub, he was a bit nervous, wasn't he?
Which one?
Well, the barkeeper.
Yeah, and he said he
Fine.
was not a fan of this place as well. What was going on? More than most. Maybe you can ask a question anyway. I'm not saying he did it, but
he seemed to not want other people getting hurt.
as
Perhaps because
the
he knows he's already caused enough harm.
precisely. Maybe it's all a mistake. I'm not saying he's done it all to get people killed, but either way, I know you thought the same, Bonneville. There was something about him that he hadn't shared.
Mm.
If
Right,
it is
and
a
I don't
person we're
suppose-
looking for, no one else comes to mind for me.
I don't suppose either of you could have voiced these suspicions about this man before I left my 5-year-old child unattended in his establishment.
Before, I didn't want to come here. I was all for doing more research.
I just thought he was worried about us. That's all. He wasn't being weird about anything else. I even checked up later.
This is just hindsight.
See if he had any, but he didn't seem to. Just a bit
I
clumsy.
don't think it doesn't seem that suspicious to me.
But look, should I go and get the police and I can go back to the inn and check on Adam if you wish.
If we ain't going
I
to
think
find
we need
anything
to.
else here now, you're probably right, sister. We ain't going to run around hunting this, are we?
To try calling for him, this red cap fellow.
If that's how this all began, I don't think that's very advisable, Mr. Mosling.
And what is your plan exactly? Just to try to steal his hat?
I think we could shoot him. See if it works.
I'm willing to give that a try.
The only other idea I've got is it wants blood, right? There's still plenty here. Maybe it'll come back for this body if we leave.
set a
Well,
blood trap for it. Pour out a pint like a pig, a bucket of pig's blood on the floor. See if that tempts it out.
Haven't seen any animals killed around here, though, Mosling Force Mark. Only people.
What are you suggesting?
That the trap may not work, not that we've set a different trap. I assume, Huxley. That's what you meant.
No thoughts. I'm just saying if we leave, it might come back, so maybe we should watch this from somewhere, rather than all running off.
The bodies do have a habit of disappearing, don't they?
Right.
Well, so who's walking back down the country lane to find the detective?
I'll
I
stay
mean,
here.
I'll be useless in a fight. This is not my scene, so I can go if you wish.
B, if you need to go get your boy, go. Don't have to
Okay.
bring him here, but
I don't think your gun will be much use against one of these creatures anyway.
Well, that's all I've got, and hopefully it'll at least keep Bonneville safe.
Good.
Come on, detective.
Right, let's go.
Just before you go, I think I will just very quietly put a hand on B and say, I know we have our differences about some of these things, but I trust your boy is going to be fine. I hope he will be. And then she'll just kind of quietly mutter a little bit, say a little prayer, and she will give you a blessing, which is a thing that she can do, which means that you get the blessing advantage. You can add a +2 to a test of your choice, which you get 1 use or it expires when the mystery is over.
Cool.
Nice.
B doesn't immediately respond, and then just says, "Thank you, sister. Take care,"
You too.
and disappears off.
So Henry and B are going back to the town centre, and the other 3 of you are staying. And what's your plan? To just keep a watch?
Yeah, Mosling's been sleeping for a long while, so he can stay up.
same here. I think all 3 of us were, actually.
Wasn't Bonneville on watch?
It was
Yes,
me
Bonneville
and
was on-
Henry.
yes.
Bonneville gets to sleep.
Oh no, I'm with B. I've gone back.
Oh
to
yeah,
gone.
you're on you. Damn,
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah. Never mind then. Ignore me.
I reckon
Still-
we leave the fire burning in the tower, but hide in the bushes down here instead.
All right.
Okay.
Splitting the party.
So
We're all in the bushes, right?
you
No?
3 are, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Henry and B, you get back to the town. Are you walking with some pace, I presume, some purpose? Yeah. So we'll say 10 minutes to get you to wherever you want to be in the town. Are you going to the police station or are you going to the pub?
Did Bonds give us a home address? Would we know where to find him?
You don't have a home address for him. You
Do you have a
would
map, right?
presume that you do have a map. You would presume that if you went to the police station and said that it was urgent and you needed
Yes.
him, somebody would be able to raise him.
Then I would, I guess, want to do that first. Whether B wants to head straight to the inn.
I think I
don't know.
probably will.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. B, you get to the inn. I will say that your party has been given a key. So you let yourself in and head up, and Adam is sound asleep. He's fine. Are you wake? Is the plan to wake him and bring him with you, or are you staying here?
That's a very good question.
Yeah, that's not an easy decision, is it?
No, I want to. Okay, first, I want to see if anyone else has been in our room. If there are any indications of anyone having been in our room.
I'm not going to ask you to roll. You can't see any evidence that anybody has been in here.
And does Adam still have the spinning top, say on the bedside table or something?
Yeah. It's on the floor next to the bed. Yeah.
I'm going to pocket the spinning top, and then I'm going to gently rouse Adam, tell him we're going for a little bit of a midnight walk, and I'm gonna walk him over to Harriet Walsh's cottage.
Okay. Henry at the police station. There is one person in there as you go in. Good night. Everything okay?
I need to speak to Bonds urgently. Please, how can I reach him?
Oh, your special branch, aren't you? Yes. He quickly scrolls down an address and passes it over to you. Yeah, he said you should anytime.
Thank you, and I will grab it and rush out before they ask any more awkward questions.
Okay, you arrive at Bonce's house, presumably knock. Takes a couple of minutes, and then he's kind of in a gown and opens the door. Bonneville?
There's been another murder at the tower. It was rash, but we were.
Who was it? Was it B? The nun?
The body? No, a party guest, we think.
Oh. Right, give me a minute. And he disappears off and reappears.
That's beautiful. That's
a moment later, fully dressed, and heads out with you. Are you planning on just going straight back to the tower with him?
I probably,
Okay.
I guess. Yes.
Cool. So B heads to Harriet Walsh's with Adam. Again, if you knock, she answers sort of a moment later. Still fully dressed. There was a light flickering, sort of a candle light flickering through the window you noticed as you walked up. You could imagine she often keeps strange hours, probably. And she says, "Oh, hello again."
Hi.
Can I?
Sorry to disturb you.
Hello, young man.
I was hoping for some help. Some supervision. He's very good. He knows not to eat mushrooms he doesn't recognize. He will be no trouble.
Come in.
Thank you.
Come in, of course. She gives you a look. Obviously, you'd kind of spoken to her about what was going on and what you were looking into.
Mm-hmm.
So she gives you kind of an understanding look, and then ushers Adam inside, and you hear her saying, "Right, let's see what we can concoct then, shall we?" And closes the door.
I think I've left him in good hands. That's fine. Right, I will head back to the tower.
Cool.
Probably,
yeah. Yeah, I think you probably end up either Henry sees B or vice versa, kind of ahead of each other, and you probably end up catching up with each other. Back at the tower, A couple of moments pass after you've been hiding in the bushes down the side of the tower, and you hear the kind of the sound of metallic feet hitting the floor.
Like outside, or like against stone, like in the tower?
Probably Muzzling Force Mark thinks where they landed previously, probably.
Oh no, the
I think-
GM's disappeared too.
I
And he's
think
been got.
Magnus is holding that pistol that he got in his right hand and getting his crowbar in his other hand, and frantically trying to see if we can see anything.
I've got my Mosling is getting his camera ready, and I don't even care. There's a flash.
Constance is getting her locket, holy symbol.
To be fair, the flash might be quite useful actually. Blinding still. Actually, to be in the middle of the night, that would stun you.
That is purely purely not at all what Mosling is thinking, but you know, if it's a beneficial side effect, then that's cool.
Is it coming from is it moving towards the body? Yeah, what is it doing? I guess. Waiting for a second.
We heard it. Can we see it yet?
Yeah.
So make me investigation rolls. Oh no, let's do vigilance actually.
One.
Everyone got one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, apart from Constance. Fine. Gale and Hooks, you can hear the footsteps moving towards the body. It is dark, so nobody's seen it yet. You think you would probably need to cast some light, or for the moon to come out from behind the clouds for you to be able to get a glimpse of it from where you are.
Shall we wait until it gets?
I think I'll immediately just be like, shh, if you try whispering, and just put my finger up, like, yeah, wait, basically. I'm just going to remain motionless until the footsteps seem to stop close by at the body, or if I'm guessing they're at the body.
Yeah, you hear them stop.
Can we, does it seem to be doing anything? Can we hear it doing anything?
I don't think you can. You can hear sort of shuffling movement, but you can't hear specifically what is going on.
On your mark, Hux.
If it's if it's on the body and we're close by, I'm going to be basically counting down my fingers unless someone else stops me.
I can't see your fingers.
Right in front of your face.
I haven't heard anything, but I'm just going to trust you.
It's got that dark Hux.
So, assuming that it's been there for a moment and it doesn't seem to notice we're there, I'll count down, and then once the countdown is done, just sprint straight at the body until I can see something.
Okay.
When the countdown reaches 0, I'm gonna fire off my camera. That's what I'm doing. We did
I'm
not
facing the other way,
communicate.
so it
This
won't blind
plan was
me.
not communicated.
It'll be useful because it'll light the whole thing up. So I could use that.
The image of ruin because Hux has just wandered in front.
Yeah,
of
I've just run right in front of it. Yeah, if that's what you're gonna do.
And these bushes, are we is it like a small run back up to the body, or are we essentially right on top of the situation already?
You are probably what's the distance? 25 feet, 30 feet.
Right.
So you're not right there.
Yeah. I mean, Constance hasn't heard anything, and she's no idea what Hux's plan is. So once he launches off, she'll probably go to start following, but she's probably a little bit behind. Sorry, dude.
I think Hux doesn't have any idea what his plan is either, other than run at the body.
Okay. So, Mosling Forsmark is firing the flash on the camera.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, As the countdown reaches 0 and Hooks sets off at a sprint, the scene is illuminated somewhat, and you all get a very good look of that figure that we saw in the image previously, hatless, with its hat essentially plunged into the chest cavity of this body. And the flash dissipates, and your vision is shot now. Yes, Sam.
As soon as I can, because I won't be able to react immediately to the flash, but as soon as I can after the flash, I try and take a shot with the pistol that I've got while I've still got an image of where it is in my head.
Okay. Sure. Make me. What's the?
It's ranged combat precision.
Yeah,
of which I
ranged
have,
combat precision.
None, by the way. I'm terrible at this. Absolutely awful. Just so you all know. But I have 1 bonus for having a gun.
That does help with ranged combat.
It does help with ranged combat. For what it's worth, I'm aiming for the hat because that's the only thing we've got to go off that might be good against it. But I don't know if I'm going to hit.
Are you going for the hat as in you're aiming for the chest cavity, or you're going for the top of its head in case it's put its hat back on?
I was kind of.
So you're going to shoot the body?
Look, just a tip for shooting guns if you're not super familiar with it. Aim at the large body.
Yeah, you're probably right. Like center mass is where he's. Yeah, I'm thinking I should hit the hat out of its hand, but I'm probably just going to shoot right at the middle of where it is. Yeah, good point. Okay, rolling dice. I got 2 6s on 3 dice.
Wow.
Well, that
okay.
Worked.
You hear a slight stumble, and then you feel the weight of something landing on you, and
that was a lot of dice.
You are, flung to the floor by this creature diving on you, essentially. And you take 2 damage as you feel its clawed hand scratch across your chest, and you are down on the ground, and nobody can see this currently because everybody's vision is.
It's very dark. So the damage, is that just 2 of the 4 physical conditions ticked?
Yes.
Do you work in order?
Wounded and battered. I mean, they're the most logical ones.
Yeah, you go exhausted, battered, wounded, broken.
Oh, okay. So I am exhausted, battered. Got it.
And I believe that's -2 dice rolls for any physical thing.
I mean, Constance is probably a bit blinded and stumbling in the dark a bit.
You would have heard the sound of, firstly the gunshot, obviously, and then a reasonable weight clattering to the floor, because it's both of them essentially falling to the floor.
I mean, presumably if you're firing a gun, you haven't gone like point blank range, so they're not too far away. But basically, if I can have stumbled on them, I would like to try and use my holy symbol. But if I'm a bit fumbly, that's fine. I might well be in the dark and flashbang and whatever.
Make a vigilance roll.
Nah, nothing. 1, 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Push rolls in this game?
You can push rolls. Yeah.
But you have to take a condition, don't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Pushing roll is basically just roll one of them again, right?
You roll the whole lot again.
Oh, you roll the whole lot again.
That aren't successes, so in this case,
Yeah, in this
none.
case,
But so that's fine.
oh.
And you would take a mental condition because it's a.
This is pretty traumatic. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's give it another go. 1 success.
Cool. What I am going to do, actually, which I forgot to do, is make everybody needs to make a fear roll, which we haven't done yet. They're fun, don't worry. So.
I can't see any reason I'd be afraid. What are you talking about?
Well, not for much longer.
I feel like Hux might have done quite a stupid thing, but then he's not a very clever person. So.
I've lost my fear page.
So you're shoot first, be afraid later kind of guy.
Also, you know, when you don't get a look at a thing, you just hear noises in the night, you see small footprints, you think, oh, how intimidating can it be, you know?
Probably just like a scary bunny or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that is the thing about horror movies. And like, the less you see something, the less scary it is. That's right?
That's how it works.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
This is the
Okay,
logic.
so
Close my eyes, it's not real. So 100%.
So a fear roll. So this creature is fear 1, which means essentially you need to roll 1 success on a fear roll, and you choose whether to tackle the situation with logic or empathy. So you roll that many dice, and you add additional dice equal to the number of player characters present in the scene to a maximum of +3.
Not including yourself.
I presume it's not including yourself, so we'll say
Yeah, it's gotta be others,
+2 for
isn't it?
each
Yeah.
of you.
Mm-hmm. So,
Zilch.
1 success on 7 dice.
do I get my negative for being injured on this roll? I would have done it beforehand.
You got
yeah.
physical things though, not.
Oh, is it
not
only
mental.
physical? Got it.
Oh my! I've just gained a mental one though. Should I re-roll?
I'll be kind and say that it was one of the failures. The chances are it's one of the failures, right? There's more failures than successes.
Also, I was afraid beforehand, then I would have before each. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I can re-roll though if you think that's better.
It's fine. I think it's fine.
2 successes. I'm good.
Cool. So Moslin Forsmark is afraid.
Yes. Terrified, in fact.
This is when you've taken your picture and you've just got a glimpse of it, and now
Yeah.
you're just like, don't like this.
I become angry because it's a level 1 fear, and then I roll I or Jonny rolls a die, and that's how many rounds I am terrified for.
You can roll if you like, Justin.
I rolled a
Don't mind.
5. So
Oh my god.
yeah, I mean, yeah, fair.
Yeah. I like the idea that everybody else was sort of charging towards it, and because Moslin Forsmark was just standing staring straight at it, he got the worst of the fear.
So what happens when B and Bonneville come back to find 2 more corpses and Gail just hiding in a bush and like crying?
I want to make it very clear that I'll make 2 things very clear. The first is that Moslin doesn't really believe in much of this stuff. He thinks most of the stuff is grossly exaggerated. Although these things definitely do exist, most of these stories are just overblown fairy stories. And he's always surprised when this is not the case. And secondly, he's not going to be... Moslin falls like clearly the way he expresses his fear is by constantly fiddling with his camera and complaining that it's not working properly, even when it's absolutely fine. And that is all I'll be doing for 5 rounds.
As you just hear us screaming and fighting.
Goddamn door, this goddamn piece of... I don't know why I spent so much money on this in London. Oh, I'm going to die because I'm just fiddling with a camera.
Perfect.
Adorable.
I'm never going back to that street ever again.
Okay. So...
Oh, do I get to holy symbol?
You succeeded, didn't you, on your pushed roll?
Yeah, with the pushed roll.
Yes. Okay. Are you trying to make contact with it?
Yes.
Essentially.
It's in close combat range.
Yes.
Yeah. So it says religious item allows you to use inspiration to attack Vaesen in close combat, dealing 1 damage. So I guess on roll as well.
What exactly is your holy symbol?
It's my locket. So it's like a it's like a locket on a long chain that she had it pulled out, kind of ready. But yeah, it is close combat.
Is there what? But what is the design?
So there's it's a locket, like a normal locket, but on the back, the etching of it is like a cross symbol.
Okay.
Lots of very interesting questions.
Make a close combat roll. Please.
And this uses inspiration.
As opposed to your close combat stat. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's part because it's the symbol thing. Right.
It's fine.
Okay. Does this, because I've got the one on, does this affect my my one on the mental damage? My mental condition, is that one less?
Yes, it would. Yeah.
3 successes.
Woof. Okay.
It does 1 damage, so it's not like.
Yeah, but your
Relative to
additional
the-
successes.
Do they do extra things?
I'm guessing will be extra damage for every extra success.
Possibly.
Yeah, I think you can choose out of.
Oh, yeah.
Some ghost busting stuff we're doing here. Like,
I wasn't
kicking
sure if
this
stuff like that would
dude's ass.
apply because it's a talent thing, but
Yeah, but you're just
I'll take it.
really inspired. Just like, fervent. Righteous in this moment.
I mean, I 100% believe it. Constance is like, they're like, you fuck, get out of here, demon.
She's basically trying to perform an exorcism right now.
Yeah. But Hux is glad of this. This is very welcome.
Oh yeah.
It's worth noting as well, Justin, that one of the options for a terrified person is to attack. You can flee, freeze, attack, or
Oh, I'm going with
faint.
freeze.
Okay, that's fine.
None of us are helping the GM this evening.
I mean, Constance has got it down. I don't think I'm needed. I'm just going to barrel into Constance, knocking her over and preventing her from doing anything.
Don't touch it. It's evil.
I annoyingly can't find the thing about additional successes. So, would you be interested in doing anything other than extra equipment?
I think so.
Extra damage.
It just says when rolled a multiple success, you can choose to deal additional damage. For more on using extra successes in combat, see the skills in chapter 3 for each
Page 44, I believe. So for close combat, if this is effectively a close combat thing.
Yeah.
Well, it uses
thanks, Steve,
inspiration
yeah.
instead of close combat, so I don't know
Yeah,
if
sure.
it's to count, but
It gives a list of various things that might be relevant. So you can increase your damage by 1 per extra success. You can outmaneuver your enemy. That would be changing initiative cards. So I guess that's not strictly a thing. You can stress your enemy. Your attack
Which
causes
does
mental
mental
conditions
conditions.
rather than physical. You can push the enemy into another zone or a specific part of the zone you're in. Or you can make the enemy drop a weapon or item. Picking up a weapon, an item in during combat requires a fast action.
oh, can I make him drop his hat?
Pretty good.
I will say.
I'm not sure I've got the wherewithal to think of stuff like this. To be perfectly honest,
But it's not necessary. This isn't necessarily Constance on purpose. This is that you've caused such harm that it's sort of fumbled and
Right.
maybe lost its hat. So that's fine. So you could do it 2 damage and make it drop its hat, essentially.
is it possible to do 2 damage, do 1 damage, make it drop its hat, and push it off of Hux so it stumbles
Sure.
backwards?
Yeah, it stumbles backwards, kind of falls a bit. The hat falls off, Yeah, that's fine.
Take his shoes.
While it's descended upon me, do I have a sense of whether it's got its halberd, by the way, or got a halberd, Johnny?
Yeah, you can see it's kind of on its back.
Okay, slightly a
Um,
relief.
So it's not in its hands at this present time.
Mhm.
I honestly thought when it jumped on you, I thought it was just skewering you straight off the bat.
I guess Johnny had to be nice and not have me instantly die like the corpse on the ground.
Mm.
No one specifically pointed out that this one had a halberd before I charged it. Okay.
I mean, you didn't exactly stop to check, did you?
It was dark.
Okay, so yes, it staggers backwards off hooks, falls to the ground. The hat tumbles off. You hear it kind of clatter as its shoes and the pipe kind of move around, and you've done it 1 damage. The way that the damage works, for they gain a condition, so sometimes that makes them roll better if it's like a condition where they get really annoyed.
Now you tell us.
And then sometimes it's worse, and it's not always one lot then the other lot. There can be like bad and good and bad and good and bad and good. And good.
So for the making it drop something, it says that to pick something up normally requires a fast action. So could I have picked up the hat as well? This is probably terrible.
Yeah, we've kind of slid into combat without.
I'm also happy to say that, like, if I'm mostly kind of fumbling, I might not have seen where it's dropped and stuff. It is pretty dark, so.
Your fast action probably might have been moving close to it.
Yeah, fair enough. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so now everybody has had a turn.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let's. So the typical thing for this is to use the initiative cards, but I'm not going to do that. So does everybody have a D10 on them, or you can use Google to roll it, or other search engine of your choosing? Maybe, I don't know if it works on other ones. Somebody test dice rolls on Bing.
No.
Oh wow, I rolled a 1.
5. Justin, roll anyway, please, because it's maybe relevant.
Do we add anything to it? Also, do you
no,
want
it's
it from
just
me and
it's
Steve
just
as well?
Rolled a 10.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take it for you two as well for when you return.
Mine was 5.
5.
How long's a round? Because I think they're going to get slaughtered before. I rolled a 4.
Have faith. Have faith. Faith and Constance.
Justin.
Constance faith.
10.
Just have constant faith.
4. And Sam, did you say you rolled a 1?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so Justin is technically first up.
Is this my second round of fear, yeah?
Yes.
Great.
And then Inga. So you get a fast action and a slow action. So anybody who's done other RPGs, it's what you'd expect. Fast actions are sort of movement, talking, dodging as a reaction, so you can kind of save it if you want to. And then your slow action is basically any attack or first aid or anything that takes a reasonable amount of time.
I will try and pick up the hat.
Mm-hmm.
And
You pick up the hat.
and
It's sopping wet with blood.
oh yeah, it's gross. And I'm just trying to back away and put some distance between me and it.
We're going to play keep away with the hat.
Yeah.
I
love
love
it.
that in the last episode we had Hooks stealing Adam's hat and running off with it. Beautiful foreshadowing.
You're so
I don't know
right.
if as I'm running away, just trying to wring it out or something. I don't know, like, but yeah, that's just try and make it less
Constance just covered in
disgusting.
blood at a crime scene.
Yeah, with a very interesting hat.
Henry and B, you will have heard a gunshot coming from the direction of the tower.
I guess we start running then.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that within 2 rounds, I think you can probably, like, you're nearing the tower at the time that you hear the gunshot. I think by the time all this has gone on, because you were pretty quick and efficient in the town, I think, because you'll have wanted to get back because you'll be aware that something could have happened. So we'll say in the 4th round, you can appear and you'll be able to do something, but your fast action will have to be movement to get you into the realms of what's going on. So Inga, Constance is backing away with the dripping wet bloody hat.
Genuinely trying to wring it out a bit if she can. Like, I think somewhere in the back of her head, she's heard, like, if it's supposed to be with blood, then let's try and get rid of the blood. But also, it's just super gross, and she just wants it to be less wet and disgusting. And that's probably the overriding impulse.
Okay. The creature jumps up to its feet, as sort of springs up onto its feet, and moves towards you with unnerving speed. And I am going to say that it tries to wrestle the hat from you. Can you make me, please, a force physique roll? Incredibly, you're only looking for 1 success. Okay.
Yeah.
1 success.
So, Sam, Hooks' turn, and you see these two basically engaged in a tug of war over this hat, which is sort of, as it's being pulled, is just sort of like flooding blood out of it, basically.
This is if it wasn't for the blood, this would be such an adorable comic book moment, but instead it's horrifying. Hux is going to leap to his feet as fast as his old and now somewhat wounded bones will carry him, and then dash and try and thwack the thing in the back of the head with his crowbar.
Cool. Yeah, make me a close combat roll.
Now, we never really decided if the crowbar counted as a plus for combat or not, because it doesn't give me a bonus otherwise.
Was this one of your starting items?
Yeah, it was. It gave me a walkie stick and a crowbar, but it didn't come with any things like some of the other items did. And we were like, maybe that should give me a bonus in close combat, but I don't.
Yeah, I'll say it's fine.
Crowbar does have a weapon entry.
Oh, it does. Okay, cool. Doesn't matter then.
It's 1 damage plus 1 bonus, and
There you go.
Oh,
That answers the question. I didn't have it written
a
down.
level 2 availability.
Cool. So I'm -2, but I have 7 plus 1 for the crowbar, so I'm still at rolling 6 dice.
Yeah. Which I think means you have a 100% chance of success.
Clearly.
I did not succeed.
Okay.
Do I want to push it? I mean, that would take me into wounded, which seems like a pretty bad idea, though. But I really want to hit it.
Or is it mental? And that's a new.
It will be physical because I'm doing a hitting thing, though, right?
Ah, right.
I think I still want to do it because it just makes sense that Hux really wants to hit it. So I'm going to push.
They just jump on you and attack you.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I feel like if it hits me again, I'm probably downed either way. So there's no point saving that extra hit point. Am I down 1 dice for this push because I spent 1 thing to roll, Johnny, or would it happen after the roll?
No, the push is always pushes after a roll.
Okay.
So yeah, sorry, the downside of the push comes after the roll.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 3 successes. There we go. Worth it.
Okay.
And the bonus damage from the crowbar, I think, as well. Correct, John? 1 damage extra.
One damage extra, yes.
Okay. Yes, the crowbar connects with the creature's head, and it stumbles and loses grip of the hat for a moment. And we are back around now.
I don't know if it's a thing, but all the successes, all I want to do is damage.
Okay. Yeah, we're back around. So, Inga, Constance now. Justin is still incapacitated. Yes, Constance now has hold of the hat. You probably stumbled back a little because you've been putting such effort into doing that. So you're sort of a few steps away from the creature now.
I'm gonna run fast as I can. Any amount of actions or whatever I can do to just be putting distance between us. I don't care that he's fast. I'm just gonna keep trying to leg it.
Okay, which way are you going? Any particular direction?
I mean, I broadly like the idea of kind of, maybe being able to toss this into the fire, but I get the sense from the direction that it was between us and the tower. So away from it is probably not in the direction of the tower. So just away. Probably maybe back to town.
Okay, cool. I was going to say it's not between you and the tower. It's more between you and the manor house, and it's sort of an L shape. So,
right.
But you are nearest sort of the easiest way for you to run away from it. If you want to run literally away, is back towards town.
Yeah, back towards town then. Yeah.
Okay. Then it's going to chase you. And it catches you with remarkable ease.
Oh.
No rolls made here.
However, just as it sort of catches up behind you, you see Henry and B. Because you've run in that direction, you essentially get in around earlier. So this creature is going to go for grabbing the hat again. So can you make the force physique roll? Yeah. I got 2 successes.
No successes, but I'm going to try pushing it.
Okay.
Still no successes.
Okay, so you take a physical condition for pushing. Cool. Yeah, so it basically grabs the hat as it's passing you almost. But that does mean that Henry and B could both do something. I don't know what you're going to think of doing as you walk into this scene of.
So I was, I don't know whether this is possible, but like on running, as I heard the gunshot, running back towards the tower, I might have decided that perhaps this is the moment where the obvious moment where I'd know suddenly that this weird chest thing that we were given was useful. So I might suddenly, like running back to the tower with this, getting the chest out of a large pocket and sort of just fiddling with it, trying to open it, shaking it, just, yeah. So that's what I would be doing on the way back to the tower, and as this scene unfolds in front of us, I guess.
Is B doing anything in response
So
to
I just rolled a vigilance to see whether I would have noticed what Henry was doing, or whether I'm just going, there's a threat, shoot it.
Oh,
And I rolled 3 successes. So I think I have noticed Henry fiddling with something. But I also really want to shoot this thing.
I mean, with 3 successes, you probably know the keys fit for the lock, don't you?
I would say
Yeah,
with 3
right.
successes, you don't necessarily know that the key fits the lock, but you could guess that having been given these 2 items, there's a good chance that they're related.
Yeah, all right. In that case, I'm going to dig into my pocket and grab the key and press it into Henry's hand. Would I
will-
still also be able to take a shot?
Yes, I'll say that's your fast action.
Excellent.
Generous.
Excellent. So that is 3 plus 5 plus an extra 2 for my rifle. So I'm going to roll 9
Nice.
dice.
And get no successes, clearly.
Don't jinx it, Steve.
I'm
Wait,
trying
10
to
dice, John?
anti-jinx it.
That's 10 dice, John.
I would remind you also got a +2 blessing at some point this session if you want it.
Oh,
I
God,
do.
go for the 12 dice.
Yeah, all right. It's 11. Why would it be 12?
3 plus
Wasn't it
5.
3 plus 5 plus 2?
2 is
Oh,
10.
yeah, I can't maths, apparently. 12.
It's the excitement.
Nothing in the first 5. Ooh, 2 in the second. I only have 5 dice, hence the multiple rolls. 3 successes.
Okay, do you know what the damage is for your rifle? Have you got that marked?
2.
Okay, do you want to just go for complete damage with the extra points?
Shoot the hat out of his
Yeah.
hand.
Trick shot.
I don't think that makes much sense. Is that, can I knock it prone? Is that a thing that I could do with an extra success? Hang on, let me read.
You can do the
maneuver.
you can do the push the enemy into another zone. I will say that you can knock it down if you want to.
Okay, yeah. Then
I think
I will do that.
it's running at you and you've shot it with a rifle. There's a good chance it's going to hit the deck. I think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
So you got 3 successes. So do you want to do 2 damage and knock it down?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, it kind of flings backwards to the floor with the sort of, it's sort of hit like that as the bullet hits it, and it was charging forwards, and it kind of sits up, but you can see that its eyes are sort of darting around now, which you two wouldn't necessarily know is anything different to normal, but before it just kind of looked angry. Constance would be aware that it looked now a little more uncertain of itself than previous. Henry.
I will be struggling to get the key into the lock and open this chest.
In the chest is a sharpened crucifix.
Okay.
So the long section has been essentially turned into a blade.
Right. I will stare at it in astonishment briefly. Oh my God. What are my stats for close combat? Oh dear.
What are my stats for crucifix knife?
Yeah. I haven't got a crucifix knife on my character sheet. Can I do anything now, or would it be like grabbing it and...
Quick action is opening the box, so
Yeah.
you can have a slow action as an attack if you want to.
And I'm near enough to do that, am I?
Yes.
Okay. I guess this isn't going to work because I've only got 3 dice for... So physique 3, close combat. I have 0 points in close combat. It's just going to be 3 dice. So... And I can't use the map as an
3
advantage.
successes. I know it's going to happen.
Well, no, look, you've jinxed it now because I got nothing. But I will push.
Okay.
Still nothing. And now I'm exhausted.
Roll 1 more dice. Yeah, it's on the ground. I'm going to give you an extra dice.
Okay. I rolled a 1.
Oh, I thought you were going to say roll the 6. That's fine. Okay. That's fine. It's quite tightly packed into the box, and actually, by the time you've sort of maneuvered it out, the creature's sort of shuffled away a little bit. Sam, has Hooks followed?
Yeah, I'm trying to follow, assuming it's not too fast for me to keep up. But I guess it's only been going to constant, so it only goes fast as she was going.
Yes,
so I could
correct.
catch up. So yeah, I'm just going to run at it and try and thwack it again. I don't really have any other particular, like I'm like running on adrenaline, having been pretty badly battered. So yeah, I think I'm down to 4 dice now for thwacking. 1, 2, 3. Yes, -3, 5, 7. Yeah. Oh, but I get my +1 for the crowbar. So yeah, that's all right. Still all right. Oh, no. I didn't make it this time. And I'm definitely not going to push, given that would make me broken.
Broken.
Probably a bad idea.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Round 4. So next round, Mosling is unterrified.
Doesn't mean he's going to join the fight, though.
So that's Justin. John, B is first.
Okay. So there's me. Well, there's Henry, me, it, Constance, Hux. Or did Hux move closer?
Hooks is in about the same place as Constance now.
Okay. I'm going to reload and fire another shot.
Okay.
So I'm rolling for 10. Nothing. And nothing on 10 dice.
Wow. Okay. Inga, Constance.
Can she get this fancy crucifix off of Henry, and try to use that, which either just as a normal stabbing or in the same sort of holy inspiration-y way that of a holy symbol. Oh, you're on mute.
I'm going to say yes. So Henry has kind of managed to get it out of the box, which it was kind of, it was a very tight fit in there, and the end had kind of like stabbed into the sort of felt inner, and it was a little bit of a hassle to get. So Henry is essentially holding this dagger-like crucifix, so it's there for the taking.
Cool.
I certainly wouldn't resist.
I just got. It doesn't matter that I've got 1 in physical and 1 in mental. It's still just 1 loss of a dice roll, right?
Yes, because you're rolling on a physical stat. Yeah.
1 success.
Okay.
Just try pushing again anyway. See if I get some more successes.
You could get less though, right? Because if you reroll,
Well, because you only re-roll the ones that don't.
You reroll the fails. The success stays, I believe.
I think she's overcome with a real religious fervor here.
Do you not think I'm right there, Steve?
I just need to check. I can't remember whether pushing a roll, having failed a test, you can choose to muster your strength.
Okay.
All right, that's fine. Just 1 success then.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. No, I'm reading further. You can push rolls that have already succeeded, since there are situations of multiple successes that make you succeed particularly well. So, yes, it sounds like you can actually.
Okay.
You can actually push.
But are you re-rolling?
This is page 39.
I'm going to go.
Yeah, re-roll every die except the 6s.
Yeah. No more successes. Because that uses inspiration, which is empathy, does that add another to my mental conditions rather than physical?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm frightened rather than battered. But still the 1 success.
You would say that after you, as you sort of plunge this into this creature, you note now that you're this up close and personal with it, that where Hooks shot it. Well, you don't know where he shot it, but there doesn't seem to be a wound. Whereas where B shot it the first time, there is a wound, but the second shot you think hit, but there isn't a wound from that either. And this has wounded the creature. And you see now, rather than a look of uncertainty, a look of fear in its eyes.
The first shot from B was the one with a blessing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I told you all. That's what Constance is thinking anyway.
So next up is Steve.
Well, I've just had a crucifix snatched out of my hands. I don't really know what's going on.
We play pass the parcel. You can snatch it right back out of my hands if you like. Just all have a go.
I feel like what you said then, Steve. I don't really know what was going on. I feel like that's perfectly like role playing Henry Bonneville in this circumstance.
Yeah. I might get my revolver out and try shooting rather half-heartedly, because I'm not very good with guns. So it's going to be quite a tentative sort of... Is there anybody near? There are people
Steve,
near, aren't they?
As you go to put the box down, the area that had been pierced into by the crucifix knife, you see some bullets sort of roll out of the side of the box.
Okay. I will grab some of those and try and load my...
They're the right ones.
Phew.
Also. Yeah.
This still isn't going to help, because I am only rolling... precision. Oh my god, precision is a physical skill, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm rolling one die.
Go for it.
Because of my exhaustion.
You got it.
Oh,
Are we still have a bonus die for it being on the floor?
Yes. Easy to hit, yeah.
Okay.
Is that
Too nice.
including the bonus die for the weapon itself, Steve?
Oh, actually, no, that isn't. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know how guns work.
That's fair.
Yeah, so you'll get 3 dice. You'll get
Standing
3
right
Okay,
next to
revolver plus
target,
2.
I feel real good about you saying you don't know how guns work.
Just got Bonneville loading these bullets. Just going, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not going to fucking hit it. He's like, just shoot it. Just shoot it.
Oh, okay.
Steve,
So
stop
good
role
at
playing.
listening.
I don't like
Stop
this.
role playing
I don't
Henry
know what I'm-
Bonneville so perfectly, Steve.
So 2 dice from the revolver. It would have been 2 dice from precision, but it's down to 1 because I'm on a -1. But there's a die, an extra 1 because it's on the floor, right?
Yes, so far.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Smashing it.
3 better than 1.
I do get 1 success.
Okay, nice. Yes, you managed to not hit Constance, who is sort of plunging a crucifix blade in, and you see this sink into the creature, and blood start to trickle out of the chest wound. And the look on its face turns to hatred from the previous fear. And it's the creature's turn. Constance is right there. So it is going to lash out with claws at Constance, and it's going to do you 2 physical harm.
I am
Did you have
wounded.
any?
I am alive, but I am wounded and 1 off of broken.
Yeah, it slashes upwards, cuts sort of across the shoulder, and you get knocked back a bit, but you manage to keep hold of the crucifix. And Hooks.
I'd say I'm aware enough to notice that, but I definitely haven't noticed that I'm not like having much effect on it. So I'm definitely still just going to try and hit it.
Yeah.
It seems logical. I mean, oh, you know what? I am going to roll myself a vigilance. So I feel like that's unfair because I feel like I've thwacked it a lot and hit it a lot.
Yeah, sure. You have you've had an effect on it. You've caused it to move. It's not like it's completely.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem hurt.
Yes.
Okay, I got one success, so I'm going to say I'm aware I'm not hurting it. So I might try instead of hitting it, I'm just going to try and like tackle it to the ground to make it easier for other people to get it.
Sure. Do you want to? Well, it's on the floor currently, but you could try and hold it down.
Yeah, hold it down then. Yeah.
Do you want to make a force physique roll for me?
Sure. So that's 5, 6,
and
dice,
add on
minus 3 dice.
Add on a dice as well because
4
it's already down.
Okay, cool. 3 5s, but no 6s.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say that you're sort of on your knees on the ground and trying to hold it in place, but not managed to get a decent grip on it yet. Justin, is this your last round of being?
I believe this is my last round of fear.
Okay, cool. So
You can just hear in the background somewhere, like fiddling around.
This is doing
Camera.
nothing for your credibility. This is.
And we are, because Mosley Forsmark was really supposed to be the save of the day. Everyone was expecting it. You were all waiting for me to come in on a white horse.
There's savior, and then there's not completely useless.
I think I haven't noticed that only certain people are dealing damage to this creature, so I think I will.
Why don't you make a vigilance roll
That's
as well
good.
to
That's
see
a good
if you
point.
have?
And then does this? No, that's not. Nope, no successes.
Okay, cool.
So I will level another shot. I'm going to roll for it, even though I don't think it'll do anything. But 1 success, 2 successes.
Okay. What I will say with this is that you definitely notice, like you've definitely hit it. But you note now that it hasn't done anything. And I think the cogs tick over and you think, oh, I was blessed. This is a crucifix. Maybe it's kind of a holy symbol kind of thing.
Cool.
I think that's fair to have realized that at that point, because that was a solid hit and you're like, that should have, and it hasn't done anything.
Done something, yeah.
Inga, Constance.
Another crucifix stab.
Yeah.
Was there a +1 because he's on the floor, which would gate the minor?
Yes, you're now -2, aren't you? So you'll just be -1.
Yeah, cool. 1 success.
Okay. Yeah, this digs in like good. You kind of feel it go through a lot of creature insides. It's quite sort of, you stab it in and you kind of plunge a bit further. You hit something and you have to sort of force it in. But you get it's not well now. The anger has gone and it's now sort of, it looks like it's struggling. And afraid more so than anything else. Steve.
Well, I guess I'm going to try shooting it again. So I think it's still 4 dice, I guess.
Yes.
There's 2 from the gun, blah, blah, blah. Okay. 1 success again.
You, Henry, probably with increased confidence after his previous shot, points the gun back at the creature on the ground, takes a deep breath in, exhales, and fires, and hits the thing square in the middle of the forehead, and it drops to the floor.
I would like to say I don't look cool at this point. It's not sort of, boom, done. I'm just looking sort of wide-eyed and frantic and
No one
very
in this
scared.
situation looks cool.
Constance thinks you look super cool.
Sure. Covered in blood.
Yeah, Magnus is busy laid on the floor, bleeding and panting.
What does Bonce look like?
What did I miss?
Yeah, turn to see.
Bonce is he basically comes out from behind some foliage that he's been sort of peering out from behind. I don't understand.
I'm not sure we do, but it's not moving.
We put on the armor of God, and the devil fled from us. We have done the right thing. If the cap is still there, she will maybe grab it and just pull it away from the body. Just
You hear from back towards the town, sort of in that direction, a
Okay, turn around.
Yeah,
Raise my
Magnus
rifle.
rolls onto his back and looks, like leans up to look.
you see Sir Rupert Merriweather and Eleanor walking towards you. So Rupert is clapping and says, "Jolly good show. Jolly good."
How long have you been here?
Oh, the whole time. I was worried, Mr. Bonneville, that you might have spotted me in the train station for a moment. But yes, we weren't going to send you out on your first excursion unprotected, were we? That wouldn't be very sporting of us.
I didn't feel very protected.
You didn't summon this thing.
No. But we'd essentially solved the mystery before sending you on. So we sent some books your way that we hoped would point you in the right direction, and sent these protective items here. But we couldn't give you everything, you see. We had to make sure you'd be able to survive on your own in the field, but we didn't want you completely alone.
This was some sort of test.
Yes, but not one. It wasn't created by us. You have to understand that. It's very important that you understand that. We didn't engineer any of this. This was something that was here, and we wanted to make sure that you were appropriate people to be allowed entry to the society. We had to see how you would perform in the field. We could have come and dealt with this ourselves, but it seemed a good starter situation.
Sir Rupert, did Lord Wilton have anything to do with this? If you've solved the whole thing.
No. He was
right.
Only by virtue of being the person who has inherited this this home and tried to make changes to it.
Right. And the hat, should we burn this thing?
Irrelevant now, I'm afraid. You've managed to dispatch the beast. Very, very well done.
So
I'll be going over to
very well done, all of you. Well done.
We could have you could have just told us what it was from the start, and we wouldn't have had to go through any of this.
We could, but then what would happen when you went to the next mystery and we were busy elsewhere and not able to assist you?
Does Constance believe that this was not a setup and that it was a test in the way he's describing and not a fabricated test?
Make an observation empathy roll if you like. Everybody can if you want to.
While this is going on, Hux just turned around and goes, "Hang on, Gale, where the hell were you?"
One success. Well, it's the funny thing, you see. It was very dark, and I thought I knew which direction you got off in, and I ended up going completely the wrong one.
Can I roll an observation empathy
Hux
test on Mars?
Daggers.
Is it needed?
I mean, like, is it a like? Was this a more or less embarrassing version than the truth? Isn't it consistent with Mosling's character? Why would you even be suspicious of a story this ridiculous?
How's Hux doing? Are you back on your feet, or?
Yeah, I think I'm standing up. I don't think I'm wounded to the extent that I'm not getting myself
Can I
up,
do
but I'm
like a
making lots
first
of
aid check on
uncomfortable
Hux?
noises.
Yeah,
I've,
Medicine roll? Or if B wants to do it, that's more than fine too.
I was going to say I have checked the rules, and medicine only really does something once we're already in safety.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's all right.
yeah.
I think it's just check me over. I'm all right to walk away at least.
Yeah,
I'd
you're
like to
fine,
point out,
Hux. You're
I've
fine.
just
Get back on your
changed.
feet.
I've just updated Gale's thingy on my relationship to a fool and a coward, only useful to talk to other fools.
Excellent.
Savage.
If you told us what we were dealing with, there'd have been one less dead body. You do realize that, right?
I'm not entirely sure that's true. You see, the creature can move between. It would have no reason to be here were it not for a requirement for blood, so
someone would need to die to bring it out of hiding.
unfortunately, I believe that to be the case. Yes, obviously we don't know everything, but
Did somebody
I
summon
can
this?
see why we have Hux along then.
Why is it here?
there is the next step, perhaps, in the investigation. Have you any ideas?
Only the beginnings of some thoughts. Nothing concrete.
Would you like to share? Perhaps I can assist. At least make sure you're not going down a rabbit hole.
Well, there is the matter that the way this started, according to the diary from that the workman, that it started with mischief, not violence, which seems out of character for this thing.
Was the first death a murder? A murder of non-supernatural means? Did that bring it out?
There were disappearances, not necessarily deaths.
I think they still had the same. There were 4 blood pools that had that curious mopping quality to them. So I think there were 4. It seems that the 4 deaths were caused. Well, the 5 deaths now were caused by.
Sure, certainly, but maybe the first death was a natural one, or maybe a life cut short by human means, and that was what brought it out the first time. No, just an idea.
All the same circumstances. Do you know why or where the bodies would have gone after the other murders with these sorts of creatures? What would they do with them?
I believe that they may have taken them back with them. No need to draw attention here, getting all of the blood it needs. I think you may have interrupted it during this particular time, and it didn't have time enough to drag the body away with it.
Away somewhere we can't go, right?
Somewhere we can't recover the bodies to put them at rest.
Yes, I believe so.
Terrible way to go.
Do we understand I think Mr. Mosling Forcemark said there was a story about some other legend of a similar creature that had been summoned by some sort of devil worship. So it stands to reason it could be the same again. There's something that's brought this creature to this place. We don't have anything certain about who that might be. Is it B and Mr. Bonneville? I think you noticed the innkeeper seemed quite uncomfortable, but
Well, concern for our safety, but there was something unusual there.
My suggestion would be that you head back to the inn for the evening, try and get some rest, and pick up again in the morning. Eleanor and I are staying with my good friend, Inspector Bonce here. He looks over and Bonce just looks terrified still and completely like white as a sheet. Perhaps we should reconvene tomorrow. I will deal with this issue.
Constance will want to burn the hat in the fire in the tower rather than dragging it back to the inn, I think. Seems sensible.
He's fine, yeah.
But and maybe just ask B as well if everything was okay with Adam.
What do we do with this? I say, indicating the body.
Yeah. Is the body still here? I was going to ask that.
It is, yeah. No, sorry, it's not. No, it's as you look back, it's gone. But there is a long, sharp tooth there, which you would recognise as one of the teeth of the red cap.
I'm going to pick it up and flick it at B.
I would pick that up first.
Damn it, well, I'm faster, bastard.
I would try and pick it up before Gale does.
I'll roll you for it. You're fucked, Hugs. You can't pick up shit. Your guts are hanging out.
Are we rolling off for this, Johnny?
You can do if you think you're genuinely both.
I rolled a 5 and a 1. A 5 and a 1. I'm going to 5. Give me the 5, Hugs.
Okay.
My
rolling
God.
my agility, I suppose.
What about the other body?
Once
That one too.
Rupert said that he was going to deal with that.
Loads of teeth in that other body if someone wants one of those.
I got 1-6. It's mine.
Damn it.
I give you a slightly self-satisfied look while holding the tooth and then examine it closer. And given that it is a tooth, I probably will also go to B and show B.
Yeah, there's not. It's as described. It's a long, sharp tooth. You're pretty sure that when the thing sort of bared its fangs while diving at you, it looked like one of its teeth.
First trophy.
I think actually, after showing it to B as well, I'll walk over to Constance and say, seems like it was a demon. Wouldn't have thought, but I think you're the one who killed it, really. And I'll hand the tooth to you if you want to take it, Constance.
She does not want it.
In that case, I will pocket it.
I'd say Bonneville got the last shot in.
I'm like, my hand is out if you want to take it.
Okay, I'll take it.
Whenever you decide to leave Rupert, you see him kind of heading up towards the house. And Bonce is with him, sort of quite shakily walking along slightly behind Rupert and Eleanor. And are you just heading back to the inn, try and get some sleep?
Yeah. On the way back.
Adam, presumably.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the way back, I'm definitely going to talk to Constance, just being like, you were right, definitely. I ain't going to rush the next one I find, I tell you. Thanks for saving me there.
You were very brave. I was following your lead. This was together we defeated the devil.
I think I might find myself one of those crucifixes next time we go out.
Oh, actually, what happened to the crucifix, Johnny? Did it go back
Gale has it.
Am I just
this
still
whole
holding
time.
it?
Oh, the
Shakily?
spiky one.
Oh no, the spiky one. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
You have it if you want it. It can go back in the box.
Mosling has the other one. The one from the start.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, I'll have to wait till next session, but you know, maybe she'll bless something of Hux's next time around.
Okay, everybody just going to bed. Cool. Go on, Steve.
Yeah, I presume there's no sign of the innkeeper, is there?
Nah. You sort of probably 5 a.m. at this point.
Oof, okay.
Still
Rough.
pretty early. Yeah.
I think
It's not worth going to sleep if it's 5 a.m.
when I go to collect Adam,
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to sort of wave the spinning top at Harriet and be like, does this seem normal to you? You have a better idea than I would.
You mean apart from a grown woman walking around at 5 o'clock in the morning with a spinning top? Yes, I think it's fine.
Took it off him. Just want to make sure it was safe for him.
She takes it off you and gives it a look over and says, it's fine. Old, but fine.
Thank you. Right. I'll see you later. Come on, Adam.
He's welcome anytime, she says as you wander off. Cool. Let's leave it there for this week. You still have some investigation left for next week, so we've not quite finished this yet, but cool. Thanks everybody for watching. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the chat, and we'll do XP now. I've got the page open, Steve. Don't worry. Thanks for the reminder. I have forgotten the thought. Okay.
I'm
Did
not
you
an XP
participate in the session? Yes, so that's one for everyone. Did you confront any Vaesen? Yes.
Yeah. Except
Did
Gale.
you identify a previously unknown Vaesen? Yes. Were you affected by your dark secret? Was anybody? I don't think that they were.
Nope.
Did you take risks to protect other people? I will say everybody did. Have you learned anything? And if so, what? Yeah. Quite a lot. You haven't developed something in your headquarters. And did you perform an extraordinary action? I would say... I don't know what it classes as an extraordinary action.
Yeah.
Depends how high the bar is. Yeah.
Because like
Try
fighting a
confront a
Vaesen
Vaesen.
on its own theoretically should be would be to any. I will say yes. So
Like I think in other Year Zero systems I've worked with, I think extraordinary actions are normally things that are like mighty heroic deeds or that kind of thing, where as opposed to the normal kind of monster fighting that you do day to day.
Okay, so everybody gets 5, which is enough for another.
Did I
level up, so
even
that's cool.
encounter a Vaesen really? Like
You heard it.
You did.
I saw it for a brief period of time. That's all I've got.
Do XP cap out at 10? Because I didn't spend any at the start of the session.
Yeah,
so...
that's why I spent some, because I was worried.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't think we'd get loads. So
I've not seen anything about a cap.
I'll check. I'll check.
So yeah, everybody gets 5. So next week's will probably be short story-wise, but then you'll have recovery and stuff to do with the headquarters after the mystery is complete.
Nice.
So yeah. Promo stuff. Simba Room on Wednesday. This on a Monday. A weekend day in December will be a one-shot. We do one of those a month. The VODs for the Cyborg game that we did a couple of weeks ago are appearing. on YouTube, and we just did a very fun, silly game yesterday of 4 Sherlock Holmes and a vampire, open brackets, which is one of the aforementioned Sherlock Holmes, closed brackets, which was very fun. Basically an improv thing. It was silly and fun. So when they appear on YouTube, you should watch those as well. Join us on our Discord, a link to that below. And if you want to support us, you can do so via the Patreon. And that's all of the promo. Thanks for the follow. Enchanted to meet you. I'm glad that you liked my Kate Bush top and the cats. You're welcome anytime. Any good questions or comments, John?
We had a little bit of a further discussion about the Kate Bush top in our Discord. To link in the description below. Talk to the crew and discover answers to obscure questions such as, does Jonny like Kate Bush?
Johnny's actually wearing the top because he hates Kate Bush.
Yeah, it's an ironic.
Why would you spoil that, Sam? That's for the Discord channel. That's why you have that. Why would you...
I also quite like this one. The video for cloud busting could legitimately be a Delta Green scenario.
Amazing.
Yeah. Suggestions for how to deal with a red cap. Put on the hat and take its power. I'm sure that will end brilliantly.
You're muted, Johnny.
I think that if I'd been anybody other than Constance, or if I'd been playing any character other than Constance specifically, oh my god, yes. It's so not her.
I can't confirm or deny what that would have done.
It clearly would have been a bad idea, but who cares?
Would have given you very
just ended
wet
up with
ears.
blood everywhere. Yeah.
Squishy hat. Yeah.
Don't kick food. That Vaesen is a bear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you could only find that out once Constance had knocked its hat off.
Yeah.
Until that point, it just looked like a normal human.
Yeah.
42.
I did some research and found the tower is real, but Jonny is completely fictional.
Yeah.
We all look back and Johnny just disappears.
For anybody who's new to the channel, basically the Call of Cthulhu game that I ran, all of the things in it were based on real events. And I try and put something that's real into everything. As like a story hook or whatever. So that's the joke there. It's not a joke. I am fictional.
You're just a very advanced VTuber. 42 again. Mosling takes a commemorative photo at the end.
I can't wait to see that photo that Mosling took, though. I mean, I know all the other photos, but that one's going to be really interesting. I feel like we need like a sketch of like Mosling's blurry photo in that setting with us like half charging up and shading the photograph.
Follow up and don't kick food. It's identical to the one from the start, except everyone is bloodied and torn.
Except for Gale.
Except for Gale. Who's maybe just looking slightly dirty. Inga, spinning top is the new vase of flowers confirmed.
Also a Call of Cthulhu reference.
Yeah.
Like Johnny. It's there for a reason. Stop doing this to us. You made a specific point to point this thing out.
Spinning top.
And then you make characters go, "Why are you bringing me the spinning top?" Look, you pointed out the spinning top.
Look, it's perfectly fine for a mother to be suspicious about just strange men giving her children toys that may or may not be cursed / painted in lead paint.
I was going to say, I always play characters who are completely just skeptical. Like they just don't believe any of this monster stuff. They're just like, they willfully refuse to engage with these plot lines. And it just saves all the anguish. It saves all the anguish,
Also, I'm not confirming anything in any direction, but just because a character thinks you're weird for asking about a spinning top doesn't mean that there isn't anything to the spinning top.
Yeah. We also had a question. Is there any confirmation on what denomination Sister Constance is? or is that not specified?
It's not been specified yet. No, it's not a major big secret or anything. It's just not wanting to be too specific on any one like representation. Not Catholic though. Some form of Anglican or Church of England type Protestant.
Cool. That is everything.
The spinning top moment reminded me one of my favorite moments in the role playing this, just when me and Steve were just chatting about how, oh yeah, that barkeeper was a bit dodgy, and then B just went, "You mean the barkeeper who has my son right now?" Yeah, we didn't think to mention it. Sorry.
Cool. All right, thanks everybody. We should be on next Monday, or in the meantime, if you want to see some dark fantasy stabbings, then join us for Simba Room on Wednesday night at the same time as this. And otherwise, yeah, hopefully we'll see you next Monday. Bye-bye.